Thank you for joining the webinar today. My name is Mike Wood.
And I am going to be your presenter and mentor here for this brief brainstorming or advanced brainstorming webinar. So this we'll get a little personal here and talk about the details here. When you do brainstorming, one of the best things you can do initially is to create that initial list of ideas. And most of us are going to come up with the same common ideas. It's just human nature. We're going to think about those things that are most prevalent in our lives or most popular or most common in the world today. So of course, many of us are going to think of home decor, garden decor. We're going to think of books, movies, electronics, all those things that fill our lives and that are common. Those are going to be the first things that come to mind. And what we need to do is drill it down. We need to go deeper with all of this because, number one, we want a very focused niche. So we don't want just an industry. We don't want just a top category. No, we want to drill it down to something so specific that not everybody's trying to do it, and it's kind of a micro niche. And the more tight we go with our niche, the easier it's going to be to become an authority in that niche and to get recognized for it. Okay? So the initial brainstorming gets us as far as maybe some top categories, as we see here in Amazon. And this, by the way, is what I would do once you get to that point where you've got your list, but you feel like you can't go deeper, or you're not recognizing that creativity to take it a step deeper. Come into Amazon. Do a search for some of those items, or just look at the categories. So here we can see we've got the this list of top categories. Now, realistically, I would say electronics, fashion, and media, those three industries, for the most part, we want to avoid. Unless we're working with some kind of a micro niche, peripheral niche. A peripheral niche, for example, if we take books here, we're not going to go out and compete with books. We're not going to sell books and be able to compete or establish ourselves in a marketplace. We would need the millions and billions of dollars that Amazon has to compete in that area, and the profit margins would be extremely slim. And so we're not going to mess with that. But what we could do as a peripheral item is maybe bookshelves, bookends, and other related products that relate to books, but they're peripheral products. They're not the books themselves. So take it a little bit deeper and say, okay, what are some peripheral items around this? Same thing with the movies, music, and games. My son, for example, in his game room, when he did a lot of that, he sold his Xbox, and I'm loving it because he's so much more productive. But when he was doing all of that, he had the gaming chair, he had a bin to store his electronics and things. We got him a little cubby shelf to put the game on, and then to store stuff in. And so those are peripheral items. Those are the area where we might want to go and say, okay, what things do people use on the side that they don't always, it's not the main thought, it's not the game themselves, it's not the books themselves, but something like that we can kind of, we can go to the peripheral. Let your mind go deeper every step of the way until we're getting into some real micro niche, peripheral type products, and that's where we want to work. So, and Amazon, going to Amazon and looking at their categories or looking at their products is a great way to do it. So let's do this. Let's go in and actually, let's start like this. Let's go back here and let's do a search. So we're going to take the book idea and let's do a search for bookends. Now, here's something else to recognize. As you start doing a search on Google or Amazon or anywhere, you're going to get these little suggestions pop up, right? And in fact, if we back that up and just do book, well, look, it's got book light there. Oh, well, that's something we could do, right? We could do book lights. We could do book shelves. We could do book ends. We could do book stands, bookcases. So those are all options of products that we might be able to work with. I'm going to go ahead and look at bookends. We've got bookends for office, decorative bookends for children's rooms, for homes, clear bookends, small, fun, decorative gold. So we got all these ideas. All right, let's just do a search for bookends and see what products come up. And we look at all these, and we've got everything from this real simple one to decorative to wood-based. And I'm sure as we scroll through and look down the page, we're going to see even more advanced materials. There's some that are just clear. Here's one that's a real decorative sculpture type of a bookend. Here we've got the oh gosh, geometric, that's the word I was looking for, a geometric decor kind of thing. Here's a Yoda bookend, right? So there's a lot of products with just bookends that we could do. That's what I expected to see, was some geode bookends. And so there's a lot we can do there. And as we scroll through this, something else, and again, I don't want you analyzing or worrying too much, but something else that you'll see is the same products will sell for different prices. And so if we, let's move up just a little bit here to show you some examples. So here we have some, they're somewhat similar. And we've got a set here for $13.99 and a set here for $16.99. We've got this one over here, $23.99 with the little men holding things up. And down here looks like the same thing for $21.99, right? And so the prices are going to be all over the place. These are kind of cool with the little hands and the little marble thing. The prices are going to be all over the place, so that should be, again, something to solidify and to throw out that idea that you have to compete on price. You don't. All you need is to be seen. And if you rank at the top of Google and you're the one being seen, then they're going to buy from you. Okay? So that would actually be a great niche to focus on, and if that's something that you like, then boom, we can go for it, we can move forward. There's plenty of room to make a niche like that work. If there's a product that exists like this with this many variations in the products and a lot of creativity and different price points, then you can make a website work with it. So hopefully that helps you with how to do a little more advanced research on brainstorming so that you can help yourself come to a final niche.